What if I told you that the tobacco culture surrounding Ulysses S. Grant was far darker, stronger, and harsher than most modern pipe smokers can even imagine? We are talking about a tobacco that's so powerful it helps sustain men through multiple days of battles, sleepless campaigns, harsh weather, artillery fire, mud, disease, and constant stress. Today we're decoding the tobacco world of Ulysses S. Grant and rebuilding what historians would call the Grant mixture. Mid-19th century tobacco was not cherry aromatics, and it sure damn as hell wasn't vanilla Cavendish. The tobacco of Grant's America was raw, earthy, smoky, and incredibly strong. Tobacco of Civil War culture was something called dark-fired Kentucky, and we all know what that is. The leaf was cured over hardwood smoke for days, even weeks. It had an essence of campfire smoke, charred oak, black pepper, and most importantly, it carried a very serious nicotine punch. This was campaign tobacco. Soldiers carried it in plugs, twists, ropes, and compressed bricks because it traveled well and survived brutal field conditions. Soldiers would chew it, smoke it, put it in their pipes. And officers like Grant were surrounded by this constantly. But dark-fired Kentucky wasn't the only one in the picture here. Part of Grant's tobacco was also Virginia leaf. Now, modern Virginia tobacco is often bright and sweet, but Civil War Virginias were way different. They were darker, more fermented. Instead of sugary citrus notes like you get today, these tobaccos lean forward in molasses, hay, toasted grain, and a slight sourdough-like tanginess. In many ways, Virginia tobacco was the fuel, while fired Kentucky was the horsepower. If you combine the two, you'd get something very close to what the hard fighting Union officer might actually smoke. The blend was smoky, dry, powerful, and brutally heavy in nicotine. Tobacco in the Civil War wasn't a hobby. It was part of psychology survival during the war. Think about the daily life that these soldiers in Grant went through. Little sleep, endless casualty reports, cold rain, disease outbreaks, horseback travel, and the pressures of commanding entire armies. Nicotine became a drug of choice. It was a stimulant, an appetite suppressant, a calming ritual, and a mental reset button. And period tobacco was often much stronger than what most people smoke today. It was less processed, less standardized, no genetic graftings. It was just raw nicotine. It was what the soldiers in Grant needed. By the later years of the war, Grant became legendary for his constant cigar smoking. Some reports claimed he smoked dozens of cigars a day. Some reports also say he did it strictly for the press, right? Where they would take a picture with him, a cigar on his horse, and that would be kind of like his MacArthur moment, right? One thing is obvious, though. Grant had an enormous nicotine tolerance. A modern smoker trying historically accurate Civil War blends today would probably be shocked by how strong they actually are. One of the hardest parts of understanding 19th century tobacco was the language, how it was described. The old tobacco descriptions sounded completely different. Modern descriptions would be, it has a note of citrus. It has, this smokiness in the third portion of the bowl. That didn't happen back then. When they said strong tobacco, they were talking about something with a very brutal nicotine punch, and that was dry-fired leaf. Navy tobacco was often referred to as a dense rope tobacco with a heavy fermentation. Plug tobacco meant compressed tobacco that delivered concentrated flavors of strength. And natural tobacco didn't mean organic. No way. It meant unsweetened, non-aromatic, pure tobacco flavor with the brutal nicotine punch. In modern terms, Grant era tobacco would probably be described as full-bodied, smoky, peppery, and extremely robust. Honestly, most aromatic smokers today would probably hate it, but a lover of strong, dark-fired Kentuckys would immediately recognize the DNA of the old military tobacco. If someone recreated Grant's blend today, I envision it would be a 50% dark-fired Kentucky with probably maybe a 60% dark-fired Kentucky with a 40% red Virginia, and enough nicotine that would help him command an army. The flavor would taste smokehouse, like a Texas brisket. Black coffee, have some charred wood flavors, and lots of pepper. Not elegant, not delicate, but authentic. Because the tobacco culture of Ulysses S. Grant was what kept him going and what kept the campaign going. And it took hard men and kept them going as well. Hey, if you like this type of history for tobacco and pipe culture, like and subscribe. Comment in the comment section. Would you actually try historical accurate Civil War tobacco blend? And if you would, how strong would be too strong? Remember to hit those buttons, and I'll see you in the next one.